Hey guys, how's it going? Ghostly Richard today, and today we're going to be swapping out some lighting. So it's nighttime outside, that's why the garage door isn't open, and also because we're going to need access up there. So what we want to do is remove these two garage lights. We're going to put in some power points because the lights I'm using use plugs. So we're going to wire these in with this plate on the outside, which just ties right into the center of this plug. So that way we have some power plugs which are going to come over here to our light. Since our lights here themselves use power plugs, as you can see. So what we want to be able to do is plug these in and have this mounted to the roof. So let's go ahead and get this mounted. We're going to be taking off these lights. First thing you want to do, you'll see I have a breaker panel right there. You're going to want to flick off the right breaker for your garage. Turn the lights on, flick a breaker for your garage lights or garage until this turns off. Be wary, you might turn off all your garage outlets so you have to run power for lighting outside of it. So let's take a look at this. This ones are super easy. They just turn sideways and come off. It's actually really cheap, but look at this. They're LED lights. That's so dope. So the next thing I can see above here is two Phillips. So for mine, I need to put a Phillips drive in here to remove this to drop it down. So the next thing I'm going to do is loosen the two Phillips. Again, all you need to do right now is loosen them, because you'll see if you look really close in your track, you'll see that if you loosen the two, whether Robertson or Phillips, you'll be able to turn the light to pop it out. Because of the keyhole on one side. So you just loosen them a little bit. You don't have to take them completely out. Grab the light, turn it, and then you can drop the whole thing down. As you can see, I have wire here. I have a big spool of Romex. You might have to buy some. If you buy it, you literally just do this. These are extremely long. I'm going to be cutting these in half. But basically you need a ground wire, a black wire, and a white wire. Make sure that you actually use registered Romex. Don't just go and cut apart an extension cord. I'll leave it up to you, but either way, if you grab something like this, next thing you're going to do is grab your linesmans, cut them, and go tie them into the morettes up there. Just make sure that you, like I said, you just cut these in half, and then if you have strippers or use your linesman, strip the ends, not too much copper like down here, like right here, and then we'll tie them in. Again, make sure you're comfortable with using this stuff, because the last thing I want to hear about is somebody watching my YouTube channel and frying themselves into a barbecue. So if you're reading your plug, you're not going to be able to read mine. Maybe you can. One side's going to say hot, one's going to say white, and then on top of that, you're going to have this green one. So your ground wire, which is that all bare copper one, you're going to wrap around here, and then we're going to tuck it in real good. And then these ones, you're going to see spots where you can poke it in. If I were you, just poke in the black wire into the black, and then where it says white, slide it in, and then poke in the white. So after you're done, see these Phillips on the side? I would highly suggest you just tie these in so they don't short out against anything. They shouldn't, but this is just a habit of mine. I always tie them into the plug. After you've done that, you can just either try to bolt this into the box. If your box does not allow you to bolt it in, then you'll bolt that metal plate on by tying in that center screw, which you'll see on your metal plate. Tie it in, and then it'll just go up, and then you'll keyhole it back in, just like you took the light down. So that bare copper wire, tuck that in as deep as you can get it. After you just don't want that ever short out against these screws on the side. So once you've done that, you've poked in your black, you've poked in your white, as you can see. Now we're just going to tuck those up, and then now you can see your plug sitting right here. Nothing is near these screws. Next thing you're going to do is take your metal plate right here and tie that center screw in, so this is sitting like that, and that is what's going to hold our plug in. So these little tabs that are on here, they'll stick out unless you do this. You see they're perforated lines, like they've got break-off lines. You just grab them with a pair of linesmen. You just grab them and wiggle them like that, and they will separate. Or you can fold them, doesn't matter. Just basically get them out of the way, just like that. Anyway, there we go. Do that with all the gears And then when you put your plate on, they won't overlap and you won't see them. So after you've broken off those tabs, you'll see that we're flush all the way around. Now you're just going to loosen up one of the screws, a heck of a lot. And then you're going to dip this in. Again, watching that ground wire because you don't want it to short out on anything. And then turn this sideways and you can tighten your socket in. Again, this isn't it won't look the prettiest. You can always try and either fill it in or do a fascia plate or do something. I didn't have any, but that's gonna work for me just like that for what I'm gonna do. And then if you want it straight, you can try and move it to the different forks. After we checked our work, which I did, and I tightened those 2 screws, flip the breaker back on, grab this bad boy, and we have light. Now we're ready for those lights. Now we're going to also do the other side because we want the other side. Now that we got our plates both on, I flicked the power back on because I don't have to really worry about that for right now. So the next thing that you have are your 2 screws, one here and one on the other side. Take them out. After you can slip this right off, put it off to the side. You'll see in here, so you can put your own screws that are going to go through here into the ceiling if you don't want to use chain hooks. I'll leave it up to you. You can use chain if you'd like, or you can mount it right to the stud using those. So I did one just so I can show you what we're doing. So how I got those measurements and how I put my light up like that. So you've seen how I popped the cover off and then I had those access to those screw holes. So next thing you want to do is you want to look up and then you want to take a stud finder and we're going to find the joist in the ceiling. You want to make sure you find your joists. How you'll know which way is just, you need a really good stud finder. I love these ones, these 13 sensor ones. Why? They don't auto calibrate, anything like that. If we go up top, I'll show you once I get up there, but we're literally just going to tone out the wall and then I'm doing 2 feet to the first screw hole off the wall. So you take your handy dandy stud finder, you grab it, hold it firmly against the roof. Look at that. Boom. That's a joist foot. So if you want, just make a small mark with your finger or a piece of tape. So we know this is right here, is our joist. And then you're going to take your tape measure and then keeping your eye on where you just marked because depending on how dirty, well, I want 2 feet off the wall, which is right here. So I'm going to put my screwdriver right here because I know that's 2 feet. Just for a screw hole. Then you're going to grab your stud finder and again just confirming where your hole is. You're like, yep, that's right where I want it. Go up and using a screwdriver, that's wood. So now you got your first screw hole. Once you tie in half your light over here, because that's what you're going to do, if you have another set of eyes on the ground, you can get that person to tell you when the light's straight. And once it's straight, you put it in. And before you make that mark, just to make sure, just grab your stud finder, run it over again, and then you'll, if you line it up exactly in the center, bam, now your light's in line. You can conjoin some of these lights if you're using LED bulbs. Only do this if you're using LED bulbs because halogens will pull more wattage and amperage. But as you can see, I have tons for cleaning this up, and I just want it to go here, and then I'll have one plug over there. So what you would do is you would take your linesman pliers, and you can either do 2 things. You can slowly separate with an X-Acto, or you go ahead and you just cut the head off like so. Boom. After you cut that head off, you grab this, and you can either peel like so. It's like a peel string. You're going to separate these. Make sure you have some extra wire to do so. And if you open it up, you're going to notice you have hot wire and non-hot wire. And there's your ground in the center. And you're just going to literally bring these in and merge them. Now that I have it in here, still have enough wire. Perfect. I'm going to bring down all that extra wire for right now. Now you'll see I popped up one of the grommets here. You can either fill this with silicone or your own rubber compound. Basically, already felt there isn't a sharp edge on here because there's already wires passing through it, but you want to still, if you want to, seal it up just to make sure. So after you're all said and done, you've tied your wires up and cleaned it up all nicely, I would throw a bead of silicone in there. So as you can see here, your green wire just goes to here. So if you wanted to, you can either go off of this and add your own ground to right here, or you can just tie your ground onto this screw right here. So all you do is separate it more, take your strippers, strip this, wrap it around your ground, grab 2 barrettes, and we're just gonna barrette these on. If you look, you'll see that I've barretted them, and make sure, do a pull test, make sure your wires are in there. I've barretted them, tucked them into here, put the ground to the ground screw over here, and that's it. Like as you can see, everything's in here. It's all tied up and put away neatly. And now we can put the cover back on. If you're wondering and you've got the same lights as me, we'll show you the model number. But there's writing on one of the wires and there's one without writing. The center one is your ground. So the one without writing is your white, and then the one with writing is your black. And yeah, just how you can tell too is if you just follow the writing on the other wires and then you can match them up. So now we have this ready. I'm gonna put this light together, we're gonna plug them in, and we can see how much light we're gonna get from this before we tie up all our wires. Holy smokes, once I clean that wire up, it'll look way better. Right now, it's just, I'm so glad. So the studs went this way, so that's why that light's like that. We're gonna do the same on this side. It might be a little bit more off because of how it is, but oh man, this looks awesome. I can't wait to do this half. You almost don't even need to. It's just so bright as it is right now. I cannot wait to do this half. It's gonna be way better for when filming videos, that's for sure. Okay, so literally just copy what we did on this side to that side. This is the light we used. They're from Home Depot. They are like 20 bucks Canadian each. These are the bulbs we used, and I can't even remember what I paid for a 2-pack. I think it was like $12, something cheap for those LEDs. So all in all, you're looking at like 30, let's say 30 some odd, 40 some odd dollars each light, which it really isn't that bad. And that plus they have bundle packs for the more you buy. I think I spent something like $300 for all 7. I can't remember, but either way. Tariq, flip on the light. No, I mean the real light. That is so sick. I have a little bit of cleaning up of the wires. Like I said, get some white ceiling tacks. I've also got some other things left over from my Nest cameras, which look like little staples. I don't have one that I can show you. They're in here. Oh, look at this. Tariq's gonna open them for us. These, they're gray, and they just get a screw in them, and then that is about the thickness of our wire. If that's too thin, then I'll just literally use little tacks that are white just to suck it up against the ceiling. Other than that, that is exactly what I was waiting for. This is perfect. Cannot complain. With that door down, it's even whiter in here. But that's it. Thanks again for watching. I hope this helps you brighten your garage. As he says, peace out, enjoy life, like the video and subscribe.